Our first session is one that's truly legendary because we have with us, as you can see on the stage, Padma Vibhushan, Pandit Hariprasad Chaurasia ji with us. Big round of applause, please, for Pandit ji. I think the first meeting that I've had with him, what really stood out for me is his spirit, his energy. I also want to highlight here that we have with us author Sahitya Saran, because she's written a beautiful book, which I had the great opportunity to read. It's called Breath of Gold. And I think the best introduction, perhaps, that I can give for Panditji is an excerpt from this book, which is used to describe him. It says, perhaps nothing symbolizes Hariji's personality as perfectly as the instrument he loves. Like the flute, he's simple, with no trappings, close to nature, unchanged by artifice. Like the flute, his quiet humility believes the power that his music holds, the power to move, to create emotion, to build a rapport with all who listen to him play. And I felt that this perhaps described Panditji, his music, his personality so very well. Panditji, again, thank you so much for joining us here at Sahitya English. To begin with, Panditji, what does the instrument, the flute, really mean to you?
It's very difficult to explain about this, but I love flute and I will be loving flute since childhood, and I'm still child and I'm going to continue my journey. I don't know how long. Because the instrument I have found is so simple and so beautiful, and it is easy to get anywhere in the world, not only in India. Wherever you find bamboo, you will get the instrument without a string, without any ornamentation, and you can play nicely and you feel that you are doing music as well as yoga. Why? Because you are blowing all the time, and I play hours and hours, time to time, and yearly I play maybe 24 hours. In Bombay at 24 hours, in Bhubaneswar, in my Gurukul. And Gurukul is known as Vrindavan Music School or music. It's not a school. I must say it's a kind of my home, Vrindavan. There I live with my instruments and with my students. And we play together every day.
The biggest compliment that most people, Panditji, have heard talk about you, whenever anyone Googles, for example, Pandit Hariprasad Chaurasia, what comes up? Comparisons to Lord Krishna. What do you have to say about that comparison, that you play so beautifully, people are transported, reminded of Lord Krishna?
Yeah, that was different time when Lord Krishna was there. There was freedom. Wherever you play, you find gopis. But nowadays, it is very difficult to find gopis because they are all busy, so busy. They are playing music, they are working for, India or for other countries. So it is very difficult. But still, I found out that this is the best time for flute players who are playing Indian music, especially the girls. My goodness, Indian girls, they are so strong. They have become so strong, which I have never read about Krishna, that he is teaching the girls. Because he used to roam around with the girls. But nowadays, girls, they are playing and they are roaming with their Krishnas.
Very, very well said, Panditji. So, you think that there's no better time right now for classical music, for women at least?
The best time, I tell you, the best time, they are honored, they are offered by, the best job when they play flute or any kind of music. They want, whatever they want to do, they get so much support from government and support from us, support from music lovers, and they are doing wonderful.
That's great to hear. Satya ma'am, what drew you to the story of Panditji? Why did you feel that here's a legend on whom I want to write this biography on?
Well, to be very fair, I didn't want to write this biography. I ended up writing it because, I couldn't find someone who knew enough about music, because I don't know enough about music, but was prepared to know the man more than his music. And also because his family was very kind enough to say that we want you to write the book. We like the way you write, which for me is a compliment. You can make me do anything if you say you like the way I write. So that's where it started. So, but I'm so glad that I was blessed.
I'm glad too. If any of you, read even a part of this book, and I suggest that all of you please go and pick up the book as well. It's available here at Full Circle. It's amazing because it sums up beautifully with so many anecdotes the story of Panditji and how much he's accomplished. Sathya, ma'am, tell me about your first ever meeting with Panditji.
It's a very strange meeting. It happened on the phone. I was at that time editor of Femina, and I got a call one day. And when you're editor, you get a lot of calls. So he said, I got a call and he said, Satya ji bol rahe hain? I said, हाँ, मैं Hari bol raha हूँ. I said, कौन Hari? Now the last thing you expect is Hariprasad Chaurasia to call you and say, मैं Hari bol raha हूँ, So he said, मैं Hariprasad Chaurasia bol raha हूँ. I said, oh, I stood up. I said, okay. बोलिए मैं क्या कर सकती हूँ आपके लिए. He said, ऑस्लो चलोगी मेरे साथ? मैं जा रहा हूँ एक प्रोग्राम के लिए and I would like you to come with us and experience what we do. So I went. Who will say no to go to Oslo with Hariprasad Chaurasia, Zakir Hussain? So I went. And that was my first meeting with him. And the day we landed, we went into a Bharatnatyam performance by an Indian girl in a little in a little house. And I still have that photograph where I'm sitting like this because I'm jet lagged. So I'm keeping my eyes open. Zakir Hussain Sahab is looking like this and Hariji is like all attention watching that dancer. And I said, here is a man who understands art, who is so appreciative of art that time, space, health, sleep is not important. So I think that was my first impression of him, that here is someone who respects even a young girl who's dancing in spite of who he is.
And that reflects true passion as well. Panditji, this passion for art, when did it become? Because initially your father wanted you to become a wrestler. From wrestler to playing the flute, how did that happen?
Yeah, I'm still a wrestler. I'm fighting with the flute now. But, I needed, some nice, good health, because to play flute, to blow flute, and to get proper sound, to get proper music, I needed really. And I used to know about Lord Krishna that he used to eat only butter and sweets and so many things. And nowadays doctor doesn't allow me to take sweets. So I feel sorry about that because Krishna, he was never having a sugar problem. And all the time he used to eat sweet and other things. So sometimes I feel sorry, but still I'm playing and I will be playing. And I don't know how I'm playing and how I'm going to continue. But I hope that I will continue playing until more than 100 years.
Do you remember, Panditji, the first time that you picked up a flute? Do you have a memory of that, the exact time when you picked it up? And what was your first thought? This is extremely difficult, or like you said, it's a very simple instrument.
Because it's simple, that's why it's very difficult. Because you don't tune, that's why you have to play tuneful. And because you should have good health to continue to play for hours and hours. You need good health, so you need good food also. So you need sweets and butter and everything. But doctor, I don't know why they are.
Panditji is making a very strong case here to be allowed to eat sweets.
Well, but I don't listen to doctors. What I need, I eat. And I will be eating. See, one of my students, she is sitting over there, and my wife has sent her to watch. Learn music and watch how much sweet he is taking, and don't allow him. So it's a kind of, sometimes I feel really why I should have also be there at that time when Lord Krishna was there. So there was no doctor. I don't think there was doctor and such kind of sugar doctor. But anyway,
you're right. Lord Krishna never had to stop himself from eating sweets.
Never. Yashodhama used to feed with her hand. So how doctor will, they won't allow doctor to interfere. They are love and they are emotion. But anyway, everything is fine. I'm feeling happy and I'm feeling energetic and healthy by playing flute.
When we go down memory lane, Panditji, I think everyone talks about, when they talk about your legacy and your music, it's also about Hari Shiv and your
Yes.
times together.
Yes.
So if I could ask you your fondest memory with Pandit Shiv Kumar Sharma.
Yeah, once upon a time, I arrived from Allahabad and from Bhubaneswar to Bombay, and Shiv Kumar ji arrived from Jammu, Kashmir. He was born in Jammu and he came over here in Bombay, and we met together in film studio where we were recording music and with under many music directors, very well known music directors like Sri Ram Chandra, Hussain Lal Bhagat Rao, Shankar Jaikishan, Kalyan Diyar, many musicians. And we used to play just to uh, make money. That was I was not involved with light music, but just to get money to maintain myself in Bombay, because Bombay was very expensive.
It's very expensive, yes.
And so I used to go in studio and play music, and they used to love my playing. And that was, don't ask me anything about this. I used to, one time, I used to play 4 songs in 4 different studios. And everybody knew that I am here. I am nowhere else except with them only. But they used to know that I am also playing over there. I am also playing that studio, this studio. And they used to talk about it. My goodness, one flute box is there, one flute box is here, and how he manages to play. But you have to play very short in one song. So I used to play and go another studio, and so about 4 songs I used to play in 1 hour. My goodness, everybody was astonished. My goodness, how he manages to play, because I don't have to tune my instrument. That was also a facility. So I take out flute and play, that's all, and take money and go in another studio. I needed money in Bombay, because to buy a house is very expensive. To buy a cycle, it was very expensive. To buy anything, it was very expensive. So I had to do this.
One story that I read about, which I found lovely also, is about how you convinced Amitabh Bachchan to sing Rang Barse. You convinced Sridevi to sing. How do you do it? What is it that you manage to do that convinces all of these stars to also go ahead and sing with you?
Well, that was also a kind of story. Amitabh was a great person, great actor, great human being, and what could I say? I don't have words. But I tell you, he was a very good singer, and he wanted me to compose a song for him. So I requested Yash Chopra ji, Silsila. I said, yes, ji, he wants to sing. So what do you think? I said, we will compose a song, holy song first. Rang barse bhige chudarwali. I tell you, when he sang so beautifully, within 1 hour he recorded, and then the song became so popular. I have never heard such song which is continuing since last 20 years or 30 years. And it might continue 100 years, maybe more. Nobody knows. But the song is still continuing. Without Amitabh voice, there is no holy festival. That's for sure. And very tuneful and very musical personality. That time I knew that he is going to be a wonderful artist, whether he's acting, he's talking, or he's recording something in music. He was wonderful. Up till now, he is singing. So he has sung so many songs.
Yes.
But Silsila will always be there, Rang Barse.
I think every Holi is incomplete without the song even now.
Yes. I mean, he is so fortunate. And he sang, and then Yash Chopra said, I will allow him to sing, but who is going to write? I said, Anand Bakshi ji there, and there are so many writers. But he says that I need the language, proper language, because Holi is popular only in UP, not everywhere. So I thought his father is the best person. He was a writer, he was a, what do I say, poet also. And then he wrote the song. I said, this is the one, first time I'm writing and this is no more writing in films. And he wrote Rang Barse Bhige to Darwali. Wow. So that was a kind of blessing to me also. And I still, whatever he does, I mean, he's so lucky. He acts, he makes any kind of jokes or anything, wonderful. Wow.
He's a legend, and
Legend.
coupled with another legend, I think that's where we got something like
Yeah.
Rang Barse as well.
I
Yes,
want to
Satya.
add something
Sure.
which we've gone into in the cinema and thing, but right before, I just want to share an anecdote, especially for the young people in the audience, about Hariji's first job in Cuttack. He went to join AIR as a flautist, and he wanted to send money home. He wanted to say, I'm a son who can help support my father, or help him, in his, to show that I also am earning. So he said, I will live in the minimum money. In 5 rupees, I will get a room somewhere, I'll manage. So the station director was a very kindly man. He said, yahi pe uppar kahin reh jao. I will give you a room in the studio. Don't tell anybody. You'll have to get up at 4 in the morning and go into the bathroom and quickly finish whatever you have to do, your bath and everything, and go back up. And then come to the studio to record. But don't tell anyone you're living there. Now, I look at this and I look at young people who used to come to me when I was in Femina and say, okay, madam, what salary? Will you give me a place to stay? What will I do for transport? Is there a transport allowance? And here is a man, I mean, this is what legends are made of. That the commitment was so much. He said, मैं कहीं भी रहूंगा, कहीं भी सोऊंगा, कुछ भी खा लूंगा, as long as I can do my work with my flute. I think I found that is one of my most amazing parts of the book. When I was writing, is this little anecdote about how he started his first job.
And I think in great detail and beautifully, you've really summed up that particular experience in the book as well. Panditji, tell us about that time in your life. You were telling me about the hard work you did in Bombay, but before that also for a long time, it was a struggle.
When I started my life as a musician, before that I was working in a milling company. I was working as stenographer, can you believe? Getting 85 rupees per month. I said, no better. Whatever I'm getting, I'm lucky and I'm fortunate to get a job and get money also. My father did not need money, but he was arrested. He said, don't worry, whatever you do, do. But when I got this job to Cuttack, I thought this job is a job for me, what I needed. And that was a kind of staff artist, playing only flute, nothing else. I said, wow. Getting 160 rupees. I said, wow, double than the money I used to get in government as a
160
stenographer.
rupees.
I went all the way to Cuttack, where I did not know about the language, food. I was vegetarian. I had to eat fish, and they used to, and I used to learn the language also because they were not understanding properly Hindi. So I had to learn Oriya. I used to speak Oriya, and then I married also Oriya girl. So they started telling me, now you have become Oriya also, okay. So I was very happy being over there. But what happened sometimes, the guy who, from Bombay, there were some, I don't want to name them, they came to Cuttack and they listened to me. And they said, why don't you come to Bombay? What are you doing here in Odisha? This is a kind of only Odissi dance and no music. So they gave me, so much support to come to Bombay. Then I came to Bombay. And I was still in Bombay. And I love Bombay and I will be there only just to make music beautiful.
In today's generation, Panditji, when you see so many youngsters out here, do you feel that passion for music which you had, which your generation had, is still there?
More than.
More?
Believe me or not. these young boys and young girls, they are working so hard, not like me, getting money and eating pal and doing, shopping and eating ghee and doodh and makhan. But nowadays, I tell you, whoever is learning, they have to learn properly, they have to practice properly, they have to listen to different musicians properly, whether they are sitar players or they are sarod players. But how they are making music beautiful, that's what they want to know. They are learning so nicely. I'm so much happy with them.
Do you think, though, that the flute or any of these instruments are still popular? Because if you ask anyone, these youngsters, and you say music to them, they want to learn the guitar, they want to play the drums. Do you think that Hindustani music, that our traditional instruments are kind of not getting the attention now?
They are becoming very expensive also. Flute, you get some rupees and you get it. A bamboo, piece of bamboo. But here, if you want to learn sitar or sarod or piano or anything, or guitar, you have to pay thousand rupees. Where they get the money? And music, you will find only place where there are people, they are poor. They don't have money, but they are children, they want to make music. So that's a problem.
Is that why, Sathya ma'am, you also decided to put out this biography so that, this generation also knows about legends like Panditji?
I think all my biographies, people ask me, why do you write about people who are forgotten? I said, because they mustn't be forgotten. I mean, what they have done, whether it is Panditji, whether it is S.D. Burman, whom Panditji has worked very closely with, whether it's Jagjit Singh, who was a friend of Panditji, or even I haven't written about him, but there is a book on Shiv Kumar Sharma ji. So whether any of these people, their books have to be read by the younger generation. And look, the younger generation is walking out. This is the sad part of it. That they don't understand that in their lives is the inspiration on how to not just get good money and a good home and a good house and a good car, all of which Panditji has. But over and above that, how to get into the place where you become immortal as a name, how to become a legend. That is what these books will teach them. And which is why I write them simply. I write them with a lot of little stories so that young people will not get bored. I know attention spans are very little nowadays. And I think that's why these books have to be written.
Oh, very true. And I think it's very important for us to keep these legacies alive because it teaches us so many lessons as well. Panditji, do you listen to today's music? Jo sabse bade Bollywood's hits hai?
I used to work with them. Yes, to listen to whoever are famous, or they will be famous because their blessing from their teacher, blessing from God. So, and they are like Lata Mangeshkar. There is no Lata Mangeshkar. I don't see until maybe next year or after a few years, there will be Lata Mangeshkar. But I don't think about Lata Mangeshkar. I can see again the Lata Mangeshkar.
What to you summed up, one experience with Lata Mangeshkar ji that sums up your experience with her and the beautiful voice that she was, the Nightingale of India that she was?
Well, I have worked with her since I came to Bombay in 1962. And since then I was working with them. The kind of work she worked so hard, making her family's name, making her father's name. And I remember she used to walk for about 10 miles or sometimes 12 miles, just walk because she does not have money to practice music. They never knew that she was going to become one day film, star. But she suffered a lot.
So you knew her from that time?
I knew her when she was very famous. And I just wanted to go to Bombay just to see her, take a darshan, believe it or not. And then we started working together, and until her death we were working together.
But what was your fondest memory with her, Panditji?
When she is there, laughing, talking to everyone and enjoying everybody's company. But when she sits for song, she forgets everything. Just song. What song says, what is the words and what they are meaning about the words. You will find everything in there. At that time, who are going to participate in the shooting and singing, they used to see how she is, meaning of singing, how she is feeling about that. My goodness, everybody used to sit in the recording.
I think
There is one story about Lataji in the book. Do you want to say it or should I say
No,
it?
please. Better from your words.
Well, this is when Lataji was invited by Tirupati Devasthanam as one of the singer laureates. And so when a singer laureate is invited, the whole township has been is put up with mics so that when she sings or he performs, whoever it is, everybody can hear. The whole town resounds with the sound. And nobody is allowed into the temple except the laureate. So it was Lataji. Hariji had gone with her. And there was someone who went to play the tabla, a percussionist.
They did not allow tabla. They said in the morning you have to just sing like that.
So there were only two people and Sarangi was there. A Sarangi player. Somebody went. A third person went. Tanpura player went. So three of them went and they went into the temple. Now anybody who's gone to Tirupati knows how difficult it is to get a darshan. 2 second में आपको वहाँ से हिला देते हैं. चलो, they keep saying. But they went in and they stood in front of the God. There was nobody else there except the Panditji. And then Hariji suddenly said, "Arey, ye to Govinda hai. You know, Tirupati Venkateshwara is Krishna. And I play the flute. And I'm carrying my flute." So he asked the Panditji, "Can you put the flute at the feet of the Lord so that it is blessed by the Venkateshwara?" And the Panditji said, "No way. How can you put a flute there? I mean, I can't let anything and everything touch the God. It's not done." So Hariji said, "Please." He said, "No." Hariji said, "Please." He said, "No." So Hariji said, "Okay, I won't play." Now if Hariji doesn't play, Lataji doesn't sing. And if Lataji doesn't sing, the whole town is waiting. And she has to sing to the God. What will happen to the Pandit? Pandit was a wise man. He said, "Meri naukri jayegi." So he took the flute quietly and put it at the feet of the Lord and gave it back to Hariji. And they performed that afternoon. So this is a story which I thought was very sweet. You know?
It's lovely. Panditji, do you want to remember that particular incident?
Yes, I remember, and I was little upset also. Why my flute? Because it's made of bamboo. And it's not made of plastic or something. Why they don't allow? What is the reason? I just wanted to find out. I asked them. They said, "No one is allowed over here to interrupt till here in the temple." I said, "When you have allowed me up till here, so why not my instrument?" So they did not have any reason. But since nobody was allowed to anything, take it as in front of God. I said, "Okay." Then I go. I said, "Bye, I go." I did not want any money or anything.
You wanted blessings.
Yeah, not just to touch feet of God, who everybody worship. They did not allow, so I got up. Then Lata Mangeshkar also got up. Wow, everybody was. There were 4 Pujari. I will say Pujari. They were standing like police. I said, "I'm going to play music. I have not done anything wrong over here." Anyway, then they allowed and I played it.
I'll tell you, Panditji, that anyone who's been to Tirupati knows what a big deal it is, what you accomplished, especially because you said that everyone has to keep moving very fast. There's no time for darshan only.
People, they have to, it was wonderful for me, but the people, they suffer, they lie down and they roll themselves to go to God. I said, "What is this? This is punishment." But anyway, it was, my wish was, hopefully, was okay with the God and with me. I was very happy I came out.
Panditji, when you talk about Lata Mangeshkar, you talk about Pandit Shiv Kumar Sharma, you as a legend. Do you think that today's generation, we still have these kind of legends, or we're giving birth to them, giving them space?
No,
I asked you earlier about whether you listen to today's music also.
I tell you, there are many, many legends. But because of their parents, their uh, friends, they are not allowed to do what they want. Whatever they have talent, they should be allowed, like music or sport. They should be allowed. Why not? If they are not very well to do with their studies, forget about them. If you want them to get a job and make your life beautiful in such a way, then it's okay. But everybody wants that their children should grow up, in the world, not only in India, not in their compound only. So why don't you share with your children your happiness, whatever they want? Let them learn music, let them play, let them write something. Why not? What is wrong? So that's why sometimes, I go through a speak market to lecture the children, and they feel so happy. They want to sing, they want to dance, they want to play drums. Young boys go. I said, well, so why their parents, they don't allow? I mean, they become musicians, that means they have done something wrong or something. So it's not good. So that's why, sometimes I feel upset also. Okay, my father was wrestler, I understand. But what about me? I'm not my father. I'm Hariprasad Chaurasia, simple man, simple flute, and people, they
You
like
faced it also because he
And-
wanted you to become a wrestler.
Yeah, and because of flute, I was passed, until matriculation. Because I used to play, I was not very good student.
So the teacher would let you.
They loved me, my playing, so whenever I used to do something wrong in the exam, they used to pass it.
See, so basically everything, any one talent you have, work on it, make it your passion, and then you can reach this kind of a status.
Then always God is there to follow you and to help you, to give you ashirvad. I have seen.
Beautiful, beautiful message. Are there any questions also from the audience? Can we pass on mics to them, please?
You've been a Shishya of Annapurna Devi. Could you describe to us that relationship and also how the knowledge of music transcends the specific instrument that you play?
Well, I was, what should I say, I was fortunate to meet Baba Alauddin Khan Sahab, her father, who used to teach Ustad Ali Akbar Khan, Pandit Ravi Shankar, all the great maestros. And he told me that you are going to play flute. Don't worry about your studies and don't worry about anything. Come to Baihar. Learn with me. I said, my father is wrestler. If he comes to know that I am leaving Allahabad, going to Baihar, he will kill me. Oh, okay. Then do one thing. I don't think I will be there when you grow up. So if you grow up and continue music, go to my daughter, Annapurna ji. I remember that those words were running in my mind. When I came to Bombay, I earned a lot, about 3-4 years. Then I thought, let me stop the work and go to Ma, Guru Ma. That was the time I met her, first time in Bombay. But meeting her, it was a great, what should I say, great moment for me. It took me 3 months to convince her. First of all, she used to say, you go to my husband, Ravi Shankar. I said, I want to learn your music. Baba has asked me. So 3 months she used to ask me, get out. But one day she said, okay, I am ignoring, this is not good. So she said, bring your flute one day. I brought flute and played in front of her maybe 2 minutes or 3 minutes. She said, you go ahead, I will tell you when you have to come. That was the day I will never forget. And since then I am feeling myself happy.
Yes, next question.
Ji.
I'm Rahul. I was curious to know which is your second favorite musical instrument and why?
This is a good question.
I didn't understand.
Your second favorite musical instrument, Panditji, after the flute. Do you want to answer it then?
Yes. I used to love santoor also. Because it was just opposite. I had to play, he used to stroke, hit the string, get the sound. And because of his nature, his music, and his personality, I was really admired by his music. So we used to play together. I never played with anyone except Shivakumar Sharma.
I think we all know about all of the memories, the stories. Hari Shiv, as I mentioned. Shiv Hari, as I mentioned.
There's a story about Shiv Hari, that when they decided to take this name, it was originally Hari Shiv. That's what he said, but he said, no, you tell them the story.
No, it was like that, so big name, Hariprasad Chaurasia, Shivakumar Sharma. So I was in Sweden, I was recording for some company. He said, you don't have short name? How can I, I have some beautiful paintings. How can I write your big name? Can you make it short? There I found it is wonderful to make it short. And that became Shiv Hari. Because Shiv Hari was little elder than me. He was 6 months or 7 months. So I made it Shiv Hari. And then everybody felt happy. And they then forgot about Hariprasad Chaurasia, Shivakumar Sharma.
Lovely. Yes, can we get a mic here, please? I'll come to you just a second. Go ahead, sir. Go ahead, sir.
Pandit ji, you had a long journey with Spick McKay.
Yes.
You have been performing for a number of years, almost 40, 45 years.
Yes.
You were one of the founders who helped out Kiran Seth, the founder, Dr. Kiran Seth, in taking this music, classical music, to various educational institutions.
Yes.
How has your journey been with Spick McKay?
I tell you, in fact, I started learning how to play, what to play, when to play, and what to play. It was very difficult. In front of young children in the schools, maybe they are 5 to 7 years old, or maybe in the IIT or IIM, big organization where professors, students, they are all sitting at their parents. So it was very difficult to convince them what to play in the morning, what to play in the noon time, what to play in the evening time. I learned a lot about this, and I worked a lot about this. And believe me or not, when they listened to me, they decided that I should go also to outside India, like to America, Europe, or Dubai, or anywhere. So I went all over India, all over world, to play for children, young children, and then in schools, in colleges, and I played also in MIT, in America, in Harvard, through Spick McKay. I have learned a lot, so much. They wanted me to be there to work as a, what should I say, lecturer, how to make music in hospital, to make passage without having any medicine. They should work as doctor, not with medicine, with music. They wanted me. I said, I am still a student, let me learn properly, then I will come to you. So I have such kind of experience through Spick McKay. I will never forget their musically active, not only in India, but in the whole world. And I was fortunate to follow their instruction and go and play for them.
Quickly, I think, yes, ma'am, go ahead. Next question.
Yes, sir. This is Kamini, and thank you very much for an engrossing and inspiring talk. I wanted to know that since you've been almost equally involved in classical and film music, what is the difference in creating for both? And is the perception that Bollywood or film music is lesser than classical music, is that correct? Thank you.
Very difficult to answer this. For me, music is music, whether it's classical or light or folk or khayal or drupad. Music is music. When you just start from one note, playing from one note, whether they are ghazal singers, people they start, whether they understand lyrics, poetry or not, but they start the swaras and enjoying the swara. Then they start listening about the poetry. What are they singing? What they want to speak through words. So that was the best part. I used to learn a lot. And I tell you, in India, you find different kind of music wherever you go. You go to South, you get South Indian classical music. You come to North, you get different kind of khyal, ang or tumri or tappa or kadri or chaiti or dadra. My goodness. And if you go to spiritual places, you get different kind of bhajans. My goodness. What a kind of bhajan. So, I am so fortunate to be in India, born in India, and learnt a lot about this. And I play bhajan also sometimes. I don't sing words, but I play like I am singing through bamboo. And people, they admire me.
That's lovely, lovely. Yes, go ahead. Last question, please. Yeah.
हेलो हेलो पंडित जी, शत प्रणाम आपको।
नमस्कार।
सो ये कहाँ आ गए हम यूं ही साथ चलते चलते।
क्या बात है।
जावेद अख्तर didn't want to be a lyric writer. Yash Chopra forced him to be a lyric writer and he brings Yash Chopra to you. How was that experience to work with Javed Saab when he was not the Javed Saab, and some inputs?
Yes, that I was explained to my sister. She wanted to know what is the best music and why did you play all the music and why do you learn? Why did you learn and why did you why did you go to film industry? This is the reason. How to make swaras beautiful, how to make sound beautiful, which you want to listen to, through sare gaba padhanisha. We don't sing microtone, but there are microtones also. But people, they enjoy music by listening to the melodies, what you choose to play for them. And what I choose to play for them, that I give credit to Speak Mackay people. They used to start playing music from the students, or for the students, in the morning until evening. So, I'm sorry. I went somewhere. Javed was a writer. He used to write a script, dialogue. But when he left film industry, then he wanted to follow his tradition, his father's tradition, who was a great poet. He came to Yash Chopra and said, I will write songs. I said, wow, beautiful. What do you want to write? Do you want to follow your dad or yourself? He said, let me try. You will tell me whom I am following. And he wrote the song you mentioned, Ye Kahan Aa Gaya. Wow, so beautiful. So philosophical, I tell you. And then I started how to make it, kahan aa gaye, kyun aa gaye, aur kab tak rahenge yahan par. What is the love? Everybody talks about love, but they have different opinions about love. Everybody has different opinions. So why not let me see what he wants to say about love? That was beautiful. First time he was writing. Then we also tried to make people happy with my music. And it became very popular. And especially, you remember, there was dialogue from Amitabh Bachchan in between. That was a kind of addition, new thing for the public. So beautiful.
I think we've heard some lovely, lovely experiences. Do we have time for one more question? I think I'm completely out of time. I'm so sorry. But thank you so much, Panditji. I must say he's a huge inspiration. Okay, all right. Let's...
First of all, sir, I'm so honored to be here. So my question is, as I'm a younger generation, so my question is that one advice that you would like to give to those younger generation people who are doing in the music field, those who are learning instruments or singing, one advice that you would like to give for the practice, for the riyaz that one needs to do. So one advice.
It is good to be students. To learn. Everything you have to learn. how to make music beautiful, how to make different music, different type of music beautiful. You have to learn properly. I am still a student. I am learning. Still, I am learning. So you start learning, and we are fortunate to born in India. To get this kind of learning, nowhere you can learn such kind of music. What you learn in India, so beautiful.
Truly. Thank you so much, Panditji. What an inspiration Panditji is for all of us. And, for you to take the time out and join us here, we are so thrilled. Just a reminder that Satya ma'am and Panditji will be at Full Circle, so you can get your signed copies of Breath of Gold also. So Panditji will be there. You can meet him personally. Thank you very much, Panditji. A warm round of applause, please, for Panditji
so
joining
much.
us here
Thank you.
at Sahitya English.